what's up? This is Deshar. I'm in LA with Johnny. I got a full scholarship to Santa Monica College for basketball. I get a lot of massages for my masseuses for this team. You know, when the muscles are aching or whatever like that. And not so much, but Daniel gonna give me a massage, and we're gonna see what's up with that. And it might be different. We'll see how it goes and the situation that's about to occur right now. But I think it'll be cool. I think I'm gonna be real ticklish. So see if it's gonna be real good or too ticklish to handle. I kind of feel like it might be too ticklish to handle for a fact that I'm super ticklish, and it's hard to control your laughter. And when you're getting massaged and laughing, it's kind of a weird combination, but we'll see how it goes. And when the masseuses are doing my tickling, and when they're doing my massaging for me at Santa Monica, it took them a long time to try to figure out ways that they was gonna be able to do it and tickling me in the same time, trying to make sure that my muscles are loose and they're not all tight and stuff, because I need my muscles to be loose for basketball. Make sure I'm up to my game. Make sure I'm 100% every day. Get random practice, lifting, a lot of things that happen. You can tighten your muscles up, make you real tight. It hurts, and the massaging thing it makes you loose, but at the same time I'm ticklish, so it's like, what are you doing? It's kind of feels weird. You're supposed to be getting relaxed, but you're getting tickled, so it's kind of weird and everything like that. But we'll see how it goes. I grew up in massaging. It'll be ticklish, but it'll be like a different type of thing or whatever like that. But again, when they doing it, it's all right. But when you're aching and your body's hurting and like that, and after a long day of practice, you just want to get a nice massage without having to worry about anything. But then again, when you're real ticklish, you're not really at ease as much as you want to be. So then again, you're more like at defense, and then again you're like relaxed, and then at defense, it's your body is just fighting on which one it wants and which one it doesn't want, and it's kind of weird. It makes you feel kind of like, dang, I don't know which one I'm gonna have or which way, but I haven't had a massage in a couple days. Last time I had it was a couple days ago. Had a real long practice. It was like a 3-hour practice. We weightlift, we ran, and and we ran scrimmages and practice plays and all that. But after a practice like that, when you're not used to it and you're still getting in the rhythm, and you're working hard and working as hard as you should be working, it kind of can get to you. But then again, it's a good thing, because at the end of that practice, you worked hard, and it really, you feel good about you put in a good fucking day's work of practice, and working hard for your coach to make him feel good and make you feel good about yourself. That a nice massage at the end of the practice just makes everything cool. But no, the tickling thing, it's a bad thing, because I don't like to be tickled, even because I know I'm very ticklish, so I don't like to be tickled. But the massage thing kind of plays the good part of being ticklish, because you're getting two things that's good, and then you got a bad thing for the fact that you're getting tickled, and you kind of really don't want to get tickled when your body's all stiff and tight, and you just want your body just to relax and be loose, so you could just be cool for the rest of the day, and your body is just not messing with you. Your body's not aching and hurting, and you don't have a lot of things to worry about. And that would just be one less thing that you got to worry about when you're tickled, is a massage. When the massage is happening, it just makes you feel good. But when you're ticklish and you're getting a massage, it's a kind of weird combination. It's more like oil So I mean, we'll see how it goes. I mean, Daniel, he's never gave me one, and it took a long time for my coaches, masseuses, to get mine right. But we'll see. I mean, it's new person. We'll see how it goes. See what's going on. See how he does it. See what he knows, what he doesn't know. We'll just see how that goes, and we'll just see. I mean, I think it'll be cool to see somebody else have their perspective on what's going on and how they're gonna do it, and to see just how good it's gonna be. I feel like maybe it won't be as ticklish. I'm hoping that it don't be, but if it is, and whatever, I don't care. I just turn around and get offended. I don't know. It's like, but maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. We'll just see how the fuck this gonna happen. Maybe I might fall asleep or something. I highly doubt it, but I mean, you never know what could happen when you try to go into a situation and expect things. It tends to not go the way that you expected because you don't know what's gonna happen. So I mean, new experiences are cool for me, and different techniques. He might be the person that could do it right without tickling me. I mean, I highly doubt it because I'm too ticklish, and it just comes out. I just can't help it. It's just whatever. I feel good. I'm tickling. Tickling is good, but I don't like it. But we'll see how it goes and how it's gonna be. But I mean, it took them a long time. They had to sit there, and it took about 4 of them in the room to sit there and watch one give me a massage and figure out the spots that were ticklish, and I had to do a lot of talking and tell them what was ticklish, what wasn't, and they had to write things down and make sure that things was done right, to make sure that I was getting a full massage instead of getting tickled most of the time. But at the end, it came out to be a good thing, but it took a long time for them to figure out the ways that they can do it without me being tickled and being more massaged than being tickled. But it took a long time for them to figure it out, and I'm hoping that Daniel can, mess around by it, get it right by itself, and make sure it's done right. But we'll see about that. I mean, I kind of doubt it that it's gonna be more massaging and ticklish because I'm very ticklish. So we're just gonna see how it goes. I mean, I think it's gonna be real cool, new experience, new people. You interface with new people and you encounter new people in your life, and new things get to happen. I mean, I might be over tickled. I might not be able to even stand this. I mean, the opportunity has arrived, and I'm gonna take advantage of it. And it seems like it's gonna be cool. So I mean, whatever. I mean, if that's what it's gonna be, then that's what it's gonna be. I feel like whatever, it's gonna be cool. I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna take it all in, experience, and learn from my experiences, and summarize what I've got from the situation at hand. So, I mean, if that tends to be the idea, then whatever. I think I'm gonna enjoy it, and it's gonna be cool, and it's gonna be good. And I don't think that Daniel's gonna be able to do more massaging and tickling because I'm too ticklish to be massaged, and it's gonna be a weird combination, but we'll see. But my personal opinion is I don't think that the massaging is gonna cover up the tickling, because the spots that I think is gonna be being massaged are gonna be a lot of the spots that are real ticklish for me, and pretty much my whole body is super ticklish. So we'll just see how it goes. But I think maybe it'll be a good experience. I mean, it'll be cool for me because I've never had Daniel tickle me or massage me. So, I mean, we'll just see how it goes and see how it turns out. I think it'll be real cool.
Well, man, let's set this thing up. Still on tape.
This is about done. It is Daniel C, by the way. I'm here with Deshar. And today is actually going to be one of my first times actually working with Deshar. I haven't really got to know this guy, but hopefully as we go, we will get to know each other, and we will be able to, I will be able to understand how Deshar reacts to the tickle massage. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to incorporate our massage with our tickle today, and we're sort of gonna incorporate certain techniques we use for massage to see what kind of a tickling sensation we get from Deshar. And I've always been massage has always been a part of my family. Like as children, me and my brother used to give my parents massage as a sign of gratitude. And basically, what I like to do as a masseuse is I like to be able to connect with my client and be able to give the full sensation of the massage. And what massage is basically all about is a transfer of energy from the masseuse to the recipient, so that at the end of the massage, the recipient feels invigorated, feels vibrant with energy, and just feels like a child again. And what I'm going to do with Deshar is we're going to start off. I'm going to try to identify some spots that are ticklish, and I don't know exactly where on Deshar's body where he would react to the tickling sensation, but what we're going to do afterwards is we're going to massage it out and see how he reacts after being tickled. So Deshar, we're going to start at your sides and see what kind of reaction I get, and I want you to give me some feedback and tell me how this feels. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use a kneading motion that we often use in massage, and I'm going to see what kind of reaction we get from you. So,
all right,
just let me know how this feels.
all right. Hey, I like that. Yeah, that was
all right. And around the rib cage.
all right. Yeah,
does that feel? Would you say that feels more like a massage, or what does that feel like to you?
Feel like you're tickling me, man.
Feels straight up like tickling?
Yeah, you need a word of hands.
Alright, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right into the shoulder blades. Is that? Would you say that tickles, or is it more like a massage, or does it feel kind of?
That was pretty tight.
Kind of unpleasant in a way, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and I'm gonna go a little bit more underneath your rib cage. Don't get scared here, but I can see how that.
Yeah.
You feel sort of ticklish right there?
Yeah, that's real cool right there. I like that.
And what about the tricep area? I'm just gonna do a little bit of a finger stroking right here. What would you say that feels like?
That feels kind of weird. Feels like tingly.
What about like a kneading motion? If I use a kneading motion, how does that feel?
That was cool. I like that.
What I'm gonna ask you to do is I'm gonna ask you to put your arms up onto the table behind you.
Okay.
And what I'm gonna do is a lot of people don't know they're ticklish on the palm of their hand, but we're gonna see if Deshar actually gets a tickling sensation out of this. So if I'm gonna spread your hand out like this, try to go across your palm of your hand like this.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's cool. All right. Yeah. All right. Now that we've identified some spots that Deshar is ticklish, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use some massage techniques and incorporate what we know about Deshar into this practice. Now, the fragrance I'm using today is called Tranquil Sleep. It's often it's very common. It's a very universal type of oil that we use, because just the scent is very, very universally accepted, and a lot of people can relate to the scent. And the important thing about the scent is that during massage, the point is to relax, and with a calming scent, what we get to accomplish is the recipient actually being able to doze off and sort of achieving harmony with that one special place that he likes to that he feels at peace with, actually. And so what I'm doing is just spreading some oil out onto Deshar just to smooth things out, because if we don't use massage oil, actually the massage can actually come out as more unpleasant because of the friction between my hands and his skin. And this just smooths things out and allows us to go at a better pace and gives a little more comfort to Deshar while the massage is taking place.
Comfort is good.
So what I'm going to ask you to do for right now is just think of that one special place that you feel most comfortable with. I don't know where it is, like in your mother's bedroom, or wherever that is, out in the woods, out at the beach, or on top of a mountain. I don't know where you feel comfortable, but
between two bitches.
Yeah, that's good too. But wherever you feel at ease, just keep your mind on that, focus on that, and just go along with this massage and sort of let your mind free, and don't tense up, and just relax your whole entire body. So we're gonna start to do this sort of massage.
All right.
Now, see, the point of this is like to get you relaxed, but then I can see you're kind of tensing up. But just gonna try to loosen things up. Some basic kneading motion. Actually, this is stroking. I'm fan stroking out. And when when we start, we got to use a lot of oil because the skin is initially dry, and as we go on, less and less oil is going to be needed. Now, stroking is this sort of fan stroking is actually it's actually a very gateway type of massage technique used by a lot of masseuse, and this sort of opens the door to what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to try the kneading on the sides to see what kind of effect we get. Now, how would you say that feels now with the oil on my
Tickle.
hands?
It's more of a smooth, but it's a lot of tickle though.
Okay. Now, just going to try to get you to relax. Get all relaxed out, and I'm going to see what kind of effect we'll get once we massage you out and get you relaxed. I want to see what kind of sensation that we get out of you once we go full out tickling. So tell me like on a scale of 1 through 10 how ticklish you are in your upper body area.
Like a 12.
You're off the scale?
Yeah.
Off the scale?
Way off the scale.
Yeah.
Yep.
And where would you say on your upper body area is most ticklish?
I had to say like right behind my arms, like towards my armpits and my thighs, definitely.
So your armpits and your thighs?
And
Like,
my sides of where my ribs are.
what does it take to get those areas tickled? Do I have to like squeeze real hard? Or?
Nah, not even. I mean, hard, but the more you squeeze harder, the more ticklish it is. But it really don't take that much.
Okay. So I'm just gonna start by doing what I call the finger drum. This is actually a very common percussion technique used to sort of relax the muscles. And the finger drumming it can often be seen as a tickling sensation like I'm getting out of Deshar, but what this does is actually sort of restores the circulation in the body. And a lot of reasons why massages are effective is because it restores the circulation, it loosens up tense muscles, and sort of psychologically it calms the recipient down. Now, another technique I like to use is something called knuckling. Knuckling is basically a light movement with the knuckles, right this upper knuckle right here, and using the natural weight of my body to sort of dig into Deshar's back. And a lot of people like this because it feels kind of odd in a sense, but I mean, how would you say this feels, the knuckling motion?
Yeah, it's like a good kind of weird feeling.
Good kind of weird feeling.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. It's like a massage, but then it feels kind of ticklish.
What would you say? Does it feel more ticklish, or does it feel?
It feels more ticklish, but it's like a good kind of tickle, like a real good, funny type thing, but it relaxes you.
I see. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use a light percussion technique, just to loosen things up a little. So we're gonna jump the gun here, and just give him quick percussion. This is actually called hacking, believe it or not. But what you do is just lightly tap the back, and it sort of just loosens things up. And that feels weird?
Hell yeah!
Alright. Now, as we mess around with the muscles, how are you starting to feel? Do you feel a little more relaxed than you were before, or
Yeah.
you feel a little more tense since I've been tickling you, or?
Yeah, I feel real relaxed now.
Feel real relaxed now?
Yeah.
Alright. Now what I'm gonna do now is a little crisscross kneading. And some people like it, some people don't, but I'm gonna give it to you anyways.
Do what you gotta do.
And this is sort of like, I would say, like kneading dough. Just like when you're making the dough for a pizza crust is actually what you do. Just sort of knead at it and sort of play with it and sort of get it softened up, which is exactly what we're trying to do to the muscles, just try to get them softened up here. And you're gonna fall off the table. I have a feeling. And speaking about the table, this is actually this is actually a very suitable table for Deshar. Deshar, how tall are you actually?
Like 6'8".
6'8"?
Yeah.
6'8". Okay. Because when you select a table for a massage, a lot of your clients aren't going to be as tall as Deshar is. Most clients, I would say, I've worked with are between 5'8" and 6 foot. And there's some tables out there that the more entry level massage tables that are actually used by for private or travel, but those tables are actually not as long as they should be. And what's good about this table that we have here is made by Earthlight actually, and it's a very nice sized table suitable for people up to 7 feet tall. And Deshar's toes don't even hang over the edge of this table, over the back of this table. And so, in that sense, it makes a lot of sense to buy a table, to purchase a table that can actually accommodate more than one height size, like for your taller people. And now that we're getting things smoothed out here, what I'm gonna do now, since your muscles are beginning to get relaxed, I'm actually gonna see what kind of difference we get out of kneading the sides again. All I'm doing is I'm using light pressure and medium frequency, and we're seeing this kind of reaction that I haven't seen before from the shower. And I'm gonna go around the ribcage area.
All right.
See what kind of motion we get from there. Okay. Now, go on this side, and I'm gonna put a little more. I'm gonna put more stress on his right side. See what kind of reaction we get.
You fall off this butt.
Yeah. And all I'm doing is actually kneading. I'm not really doing any really hard grinding into his skin. But what I'm actually doing is just using a technique that is common in massage, but I'm just going at it a little more in the sensitive spots, where he's a little more relaxed than his other spots. And how does it feel compared to being tickled without getting massaged?
It feels way better.
Feels a lot more ticklish, or?
Yeah, it's a way more ticklish because my muscles are relaxed.
Yeah.
So it's like getting a shock when you're doing that.
So, do you feel a little more vulnerable in this position?
Yeah, I do.
And have you ever actually been massaged and then tickled like this?
Well, it's been more like massage, and then it ended up being ticklish because for basketball, I usually get massaged after my practices or my games. You can make sure my muscles are staying loose.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is mess around with your arms a little bit here. Your arms are a little bit tense, and to start off, what I'm gonna do is a technique called the catwalk. And the reason why they call it the catwalk is actually because this sort of mimics the predator nature of the cat. And the catwalk on the arms and wherever on the body actually proves to be very, very strange, but very pleasant sensation. And the catwalk, it is a form of stroking, but it isn't your typical fan stroking where you fan outward. But in the catwalk, you fan down actually. And what this does is sort of loosens up all the knots in the muscles, and this also restores the circulation and gets all the waste fluids out of the muscles. Because after a big heavy workout, when your arms are all tired, or one of the big reasons why your arms are tired is actually because there's a lot of waste products in your muscles that need to be released. And when they're jammed in your muscles, and when they're just lingering in there, it's I would say that's what causes the pain. Just your muscles being all sore has a lot to do with the waste products in your muscles. And by sort of stroking it out of the tricep right over here, what we're doing is we're actually improving the circulation and filtering out all the waste fluids. Now, what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start fan stroking outward. My thumb's using the outward circular motion. I'm going counterclockwise with my left thumb and clockwise with my right thumb. And what this actually does is actually it achieves the same effect as a catwalk does, but then this is a slightly different motion, and we're actually pushing upwards instead of going out toward his fingers. Now, do you feel your arms starting to get a little more relaxed than before?
Yeah, hell yeah.
And now, since we finished our stroking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knead the muscle a little bit. Start kneading the muscle a little bit. And the massage that I'm conducting today is actually not one of those massages that are very calm and relaxing. It's going to put him to sleep. It's actually a more invigorating and stimulating massage meant to sort of we're gonna mess around in the hot water with the tickling and everything, but at the same time sort of loosen it up in a more, I would say, more aggressive way than most commonly conducted. All right. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the hacking technique one more time. It's a basic percussion technique. Just to get everything restored in here. It's going to help you relax as much as you can. Now, since your arm is pretty much relaxed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same knee motion, but this time I'm going to use a different frequency, a faster frequency, and greater pressure. So I'm going to try to attempt to see how this kind of effect this has on me. So how does that feel after being massaged compared to being tickled there prior to being massaged?
Well, it was kind of tight at first, but then when you massaged it and made it loose, it was real relaxed. And then when you tickled it, it just made it real ticklish. It was my muscles were so tight that it kind of just shocked them, and it made my whole body, just the nerves react through all my body.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like that, but it was cool. I liked it. It was like a good kind of ticklish.
All right. Now again, working on his left arm now. We're starting off the catwalk. Now I just want to do the same techniques on both arms, so we just sort of keep the balance in this session. Starting off the catwalk. Once again, the catwalk sort of imitates the elegance of a cat's walk when it's stalking its prey, and this proves to be a very, very invigorating motion, and just restores the circulation all throughout the muscles. And now I'm going to sort of fan outward with my thumbs. I'm using a outward circular fanning motion here, and this sort of achieves the same effect as the cat stroking does, but what this does is sort of moves it upward, sort of restores the balance in here. I'm going to go back to the kneading as I did on his right arm, see what kind of thing we get out of here. And the kneading, I'm not going that hard, but then I noticed that we're getting some kind of reaction because Deshar actually said he was ticklish back in his upper arms near his armpits. And as we knead it out, he's trying to get all the knots out of his triceps. And I don't know, have you worked out recently, or?
Nah, I haven't. It's been a long time since I did a workout.
So that can sort of explain why your muscles feel a little, they feel a little bit unused, I would say.
Right.
Like you haven't used them in a while. Now, to top it off, I'm going to do the hacking exercise one more time for the percussion. Alright. So that actually comes out, does that feel weird, or does that?
Nah, yeah, it feels real awkward.
Very awkward?
Yeah.
A little more slowly. So I don't want to have these muscles tense up one more time. But then I just want to try to relax them as much as I can. Alright. Now that this arm is getting relaxed, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use a different frequency in my kneading, and use a different kind of pressure in my kneading. And also, I'm just going to dig in a little deeper and see what kind of effect we get. Did that scare you or something?
Oh yeah, dog.
Alright, relax it one more time. And I'm going to go at it again. So your arms, your triceps are pretty ticklish, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the nerves are like shocking my whole body when you're doing just my arm.
Yeah. Now, what I'm going to try to do, I'm going to try to actually restore the sense of balance in your body. Now, what I'm talking about is a technique called shiatsu. And shiatsu is actually a very traditional form of massage that has been used in my family for some number of years. And what shiatsu is, it's actually a pressure technique used in massage, very commonly used in massage, and it focuses around 14 meridians. Now, the 14 main meridians of your body, they actually connect to different organs and the functions of organs, and applied with when you apply certain extents of pressure to these main areas, what you achieve is sort of a corresponding change in the function of the organ. So So if you have like a headache and you massage the meridian that controls the brain, actually applying pressure to that area will could actually alleviate the headache. And right along the spine, right over here, what these areas are, these are actually areas where that open up the chest. These are actually corresponding to the chest. So if I just apply pressure all along your spine, what this should do is actually sort of free up his airway, and breathing should be improved, and sort of the circulation throughout the heart should also be improved. And what this does is sort of relaxes the back, not only the back directly, but also since it's the meridian toward the internals, this also improves the functions of the heart and the lungs. And do you sort of feel like new energy coming into you?
Yeah.
What shiatsu actually focuses on is the concept of chi, which is the energy of life. And chi, there's got to be a sense of balance of the energy of life through the body, the yin and the yang. The yin and the yang are opposing forces within the body, and when the yin and the yang are knocked out of balance, actually that's when the body is not as functional as it could be, is not working at its fullest potential. But through this form of shiatsu, what I attempt to do is actually restore the yin and the yang in his body, and restore this energy of life, the chi, throughout his body, so that his body can be working in 100% functionality. Now, when I use the pressure techniques of shiatsu, I don't dig in with my arms or anything, but it's using the natural weight of my body to transfer the energy from myself to Deshar, and it actually restore the balance in his body. Now, do you sort of feel relaxed in your whole entire back area just from focusing on these areas?
My whole back is just relaxed.
All right. Now, with that said and done, I'm not going to even say it, but I'm just going to do it. All right. Now, what kind of effect that has is using this method of shiatsu, it actually restores balance with the entire body, relaxing the entire body. Circulation is maximized, and when the body is sort of in this relaxed state, what happens is when you tickle and when you do a totally opposite technique, it sort of it acts as a shock. Wouldn't you say that, Deshar?
Yeah, exactly.
Describe that experience for me. Like, how does it feel to be relaxed and then tickled?
It's like real weird. It made me it knocked me off. I was so surprised when it happened. The shit just like over tickled me to where I couldn't even stand. I was like almost blacked out and fell off the table.
Yeah. See, what I can compare that to is actually I can compare that to sort of jumping in the cold water and getting used to the cold water, right? And like you jump in a cold swimming pool on a sort of a cool day, right?
Right.
And you jump in the cold pool and you get used to the water. It takes a while to get used to the water, but once you get used to the water, it isn't so bad. But if somebody were to pluck you out and dunk you into a really, really nice hot spa, it's not going to feel too good because it's so hot, because the contrast between the two environments actually cause a great amount of shock. And you can use the situation vice versa, where you get used to the boiling hot water, and all of a sudden you jump into an ice cold swimming pool. It's not the greatest feeling, but it does sort of enhance the sensation. You can sort of, after coming out of a hot spa, you can sort of feel the cold a lot better than if you were dry and you just jumped into the cold pool.
Yeah.
And likewise, when your body is I guess you're starting to realize that when your body is all relaxed and everything, and the massage sort of calms you down, all of a sudden I tickle you, sort of like a shock, because it's sort of like jumping into that cold water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just testing certain points on your body, see what kind of reaction I get. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to your feet, and I don't know how ticklish you are on the bottom of your feet, but to start off, I'm just going to see what kind of reaction I get. I'm going to hold you down. So would you say your feet are pretty ticklish, or?
They're pretty,
Right. Now, often any kind of sensation to the feet can come out as ticklish, but what I'm going to attempt to do is slowly work with the feet, using oil so that it's not really ticklish at first. But if I use oils, what this does is sort of it's like a careful way of creeping up to the feet, so he doesn't tense up and get ticklish all of a sudden. And using the oils makes the contact between the feet and my hands a little more pleasant than getting tickled. And as I work out the feet, there are certain areas of the feet that I notice are very calloused and very, very hardened. These are the areas that we want to work out. And there's certain areas that I can work with one by one. Just trying to relax his feet out here. And I'm just going to start out with the basic kneading motion. The kneading technique is very common on the feet as well as the stroking. And basically all the basic techniques that you can use on the upper body or in the arms you can use on the feet, because the feet is such a flat surface that you can stroke, you can knead, you can apply percussion or pressure. But knuckling is the only technique that is kind of hard to do on the feet unless the recipient's feet are as big as Deshar's. Now, toes are very, very sensitive, I would say. Toes need to be worked out a lot using some pressure techniques. Using very light pressure at the bottom of the feet. This can actually prove to be very soothing after a big game of basketball. And the massaging the feet actually helps out for the next day, so your feet aren't all sore,
Right.
And I don't know. Tell me about experience that you've had about somebody messing with your feet.
Oh man.
Like, have you ever been tickled here before?
I've been tickled there like so many times.
Yeah.
It's more like when you're getting a massage after practice and they're trying to massage your feet because you've been running all practice and working all practice and just wearing out your body and all your muscles and your feet are all tired.
Right.
When they're doing it, it's more soothing, but then it's real ticklish, and you figure out how sensitive you are on your feet.
Mm. Has a family member ever tormented you by tickling you there?
Yeah,
Like
I had my older brother do that when he got real mad at me, and he does it so much to where it just starts to hurt and you cry and you just can't take it no more.
Was he bigger than you when you're like?
Yeah.
How much older is he?
Well, he's like 3 years older than me, but he wasn't bigger. He was just stronger, so he overpowered me.
I see what you mean. All right. Do you feel your feet sort of getting relaxed? Or
Yeah, they're
Tell
real
me
relaxed.
exactly how your feet feel.
They feel like any little touch that you're giving is being reacted through my lower body.
Yeah. All right. Now that your feet are relaxed, I'm gonna try doing the same massage with the same amount of pressure, the same frequency, but this time, now that they're relaxed, I want to see what kind of reaction I get. I'm gonna do both at the same time. I'm gonna have to hold you down for this one. So you sort of see how I'm getting relaxed all of a sudden, and then having, getting tickled like that can really, 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 feel that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel the same way as just being tickled straight up, and it does to get massaged and then tickled. Now, there's certain points. There's a certain point behind your kneecap, at the hinge of the leg, where there's actually a shiatsu point here. Now, this is sort of restores circulation throughout the entire body. You're on your legs all day and everything. This is one of the points that I like to work with because it actually does prove to sort of restore circulation and relaxation throughout the whole entire body. Now, I'm going to start with basic stroking motion and just work all the areas out and just try to prepare the area for a more invigorating massage. Now, what part of the body do you usually work out the most?
More of my lower body, like my thighs and my calves.
Okay. Alright, and now I'm going to apply some kneading motion. I'm just going to do both at the same time, just to save some time, but this will be just as effective as using both hands because the area is so small. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply some percussion techniques here, and just to relax it all out. Now, since people on the legs all the time, the legs do often get very sore, like in the quadricep area and the calf area, and the knees are often, people are really hard on the knees walking up and down stairs. And as an athlete, playing basketball, you're really hard on your knees because you're always running up and down court, jumping, and all that. So what this does is actually restores the circulation to your kneecap area, just so that we get like maximum circulation and maximum relaxation, and sort of restores the vitality in your knees. Now what I'm going to do is, since they're all relaxed, I'm just going to try to see, start off little by little and see what kind of reaction I get. I'm not going very hard, it's going with a very slow frequency, very slight pressure, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the pressure, but not the frequency. Now, instead of increasing the pressure this time, I'm going to keep the pressure constant, but increase the frequency and see what kind of reaction we get. So do you see sort of how, if I increase, what would you say, if I increase the frequency, does it tickle more, or if I increase the pressure, does it tickle more?
It's the pressure.
The pressure?
Yeah.
I'm going to try this one more time. Just going to quickly relax it out. And then it's going to start with a basic kneading motion. And then I'm going to start with the frequency, see what that does. And now I'm going to do this pressure, but with high frequency as well. So if I combine the high pressure with the high frequency, that sort of boosts it.
Yeah, boosts it a lot.
Alright. Now I'm going to try a few more things. I'm just not going to tell you straight out like what the whole purpose of this tickle massage is, but just want you to find out for yourself. So do you sort of see where we're going? How massage relates to getting tickled?
Right.
Now, I'm just going to try to work it out here. And since I tickled you down there, do you feel a little more tense up here?
Nah, not really. I mean,
much.
it's not as loose as it was, but
Yeah.
it's still pretty loose.
All right. Now, just gonna relax this out a little more, using kneading motion, crisscrossing, and just a little kneading on the other side. And it's gonna ask you to put your arms out in front of you if you can, wherever is comfortable, just to leave this area open to get massaged. I'm gonna do an outward fan stroking motion with my entire palms, stand around it with my thumbs. Just trying to relax this area out. And after relaxing this area, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to reach under your rib cage and see what kind of reaction I get.
Alright.
So do you feel a little more vulnerable in this position?
I feel real vulnerable. Like I can't do shit. My muscles are so relaxed in there.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Do you have any other areas on your, like when you're lying down, what other areas would you say you're most vulnerable?
Probably like my shoulder blades.
Shoulder blades?
Yeah.
Like what area in your shoulder blades would you say?
Like the back, just the back of the shoulder.
Like right around here?
Yeah.
Alright. I feel some knots here, so what we gotta do is we just gotta work it out and sort of restore the circulation out here. Because this area is sort of tense, I can tell. Perhaps because it hasn't been worked out in a while. But just gonna start out with stroking it out, and then applying gradual pressure little by little, just to make it more invigorating than soothing. So I'm just gonna invigorate this little, stimulate it a little bit, and start with a little knuckling. So knuckling actually try to soothe it out a little bit. And I'm just gonna catwalk it out. Get all the blood moving in here, getting all the waste products out. Because, these haven't been worked out in a long time, and I just need to get these muscles working. And if I gradually apply pressure using this motion, how would you say it feels?
It feels real loose, but then it's real ticklish at the same time.
Alright, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna flip you around on your back. Just, carefully flip yourself around. And I'm gonna do the same thing I did to you, that you did, lying face down, as I'm gonna do to you, face up. I'm gonna do certain sample points, like around your sides, around your chest, and see what areas you're most vulnerable to getting tickled.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start with a light kneading motion. See what kind of reaction I get from
Yeah.
And if I speed it up a little bit, let's see how it feels. Okay, so we've determined that the sides are very ticklish on Deshar. And the lower ribcage area is going to start with a slight kneading motion. And then do a little finger slide, see what kind of actually get here. Okay. And in the chest area, it's going to start off slowly and then sort of gradually build pressure and see what kind of reaction you get. What area of the 3 areas that I've tested would you say is the most ticklish?
The bottom.
The bottom area?
The first part you did.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to massage the whole upper body area out, but we're going to focus a little more on the sides. Now, just like I did on your back, I'm also gonna lubricate your upper area just to smooth things out so the massage actually comes out more effectively. And one thing I try to focus on in my massage practice is actually the duration of the massage, because you always got to keep in mind the time so you get through each step. If you try to rush, what happens a lot is the massage isn't 100% successful. The client doesn't feel satisfied when leaving, and he's not really restored with energy and the vitality that he should be. And what I'm doing with Deshar is we're just going to do a complete but a little shorter type of massage throughout the upper chest area, just so that he gets maximum relaxation, but at the same time we get to wrap things up as well. Just going to fan outward, starting with not too much pressure, but I'm going to try to make it as invigorating as possible by using a little faster frequency. Normally, if I would try to put them to sleep, I would just do it slowly with very, very light pressure, just glide across the skin. But I'm actually pushing a little more into his upper chest area right around here. Now, just going to relax out the stomach area little by little. See what kind of reaction we get after you get all relaxed up here. Now, is your upper body starting to feel more relaxed?
Yeah, real relaxed.
How was it feeling before?
I was feeling real tight. It was just my muscles were all tight, and I just wasn't feeling too good. It was real hard to breathe.
Right. Now, just gonna go with the sides little by little, sort of relax at the sides. Just gonna do a little circular stroking motion. Now notice that in this kind of motion, only one hand makes a complete circle, and the other one doesn't quite make the circle, but goes over the hand that is opposing. And what this should be interpreted as is like one flowing circular motion. Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah.
Sort of one circular motion?
Yeah, it feels like one big circle.
Yeah, that's exactly what it should feel like. And I'm going to go around, and we're also going to do the other side in one flowing circular motion. And I notice that there's some knots up in the ribcage area. It doesn't feel too good. Do you sort of feel like a weird feeling when I go across these areas?
Yeah, because it's real tight.
Yeah. Alright. Now, I'm going to go with a slight percussion technique. It's all around the sides. Gradually work my way around. Smooth it out. And then I'm going to go at it again. Smooth that out one more time. And go at the sides a little bit. Deshar is very, I would say, I don't know. You're pretty damn ticklish, because most people, when I actually do these certain techniques, they don't jerk up and start getting all like trying to avoid the situation. But like most people, actually, when I did the percussion, they don't feel ticklish at all. But I guess you do.
Super ticklish.
I don't know why. This guy. Alright, now we identified your sides as the most ticklish, right?
Yeah.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to tickle your sides, and after I finish tickling you, I'm going to ask you to tell me how that compares to being tickled before getting massaged. Alright, I'm going to relax it out. How does that feel? Now once I relaxed out, just tell me how that felt.
I felt real ticklish, but it felt real good because my muscles were already relaxed, so it wasn't all tense, but it was still real ticklish.
And the first time, was it ticklish as well, or did it feel? How did it feel the first time?
The first time,
Like before getting massaged there.
nah, it was like a more hurt kind of ticklish, like a unbearable kind.
But was it because you were sore, or was it
Yeah.
because you haven't worked out?
It was probably because I was just sore. My body was just aching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're gonna relax out the lower rib cage area. And do you sort of like the whole point of the massage is sort of to restore you with energy. Do you feel energy being restored back into
I
you?
do. I feel my body's like relaxed, but I feel like I'm real energized. Like my body's just redone over again. Like I haven't done nothing in a long time.
All right, because even though this isn't like a traditional massage, we still want Deshar to feel a little energized, and this is designed to make you feel energized and a little more relieved afterwards, because your muscles are being relaxed, and even though you're getting tickled, you should actually have more energy following this massage than you did before. Now I'm gonna test out the lower ribcage area with very, very, very light pressure and a very moderate and very modest frequency. And I'm gonna start off by increasing the frequency, but not the pressure. And how would you say that compare to last time?
Last time it really hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Right now it's more like a nice, easy kind of tickle.
All right, now I'm gonna keep the frequency constant, but I'm gonna increase the pressure. So did that take a little more than just increasing the frequency?
When you put more pressure into more points of my ticklish areas, it tickles more than the frequency at the rate that you're going.
Okay. Now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna increase both the frequency and the pressure, and you can see what kind of reaction we get. Okay. So how would you compare that to last time?
Well, I was like putting both of them together, so it was real ticklish.
Was it painful as last time, or
Nah,
did you feel better?
It was more at ease. My body was more at ease. It wasn't more like my muscles were tight. It was real loose.
Right.
But it was a nice tickle.
So would you say this is sort of like after getting massaged, the tickle becomes a little more pleasant than
Right.
before, right? Because
Right.
before it's something like doesn't feel too good, but then it's
Because it feels
really
like
ticklish. But
yeah, it feels like it's aggravating your muscles when you're getting tickled, when your muscles are real tight and tense. But right now, my muscles are real loose, so the tickling is more bearable. It feels a little bit better.
all right. Just gonna knead out your chest area just to get all the tightness out and restore the circulation. And just gonna top it off with a little bit of percussion. All right. Now that we've gotten you somewhat relaxed, I know you're really ticklish. Even though I'm, trying to massage you as nicely as possible.
Right.
I understand you're really ticklish, but after being massaged, I'm gonna ask you how it feels to get tickled up here. So afterwards, just give me a sort of a feedback on exactly how you feel.
Okay.
Just gonna start off with light pressure, not too much pressure, but then I'm just gonna jump in right now from maximum frequency, maximum pressure. Alright. So compare that to me tickling your chest before getting massaged.
Well, being tickled before massage, it would pretty much hurt me. It'd be unbearable. Wouldn't be as good as this one. It feels more relaxed. My body feels more relaxed and energized, so it makes me feel more better when I'm getting tickled.
Right.
It's more bearable.
Okay. Now, I'm also gonna focus on some shiatsu points up in your chest area. The square around your chest, in between your pectoral muscles, there's actually shiatsu points that actually restore circulation in your upper chest area, your organs up there. And what this does, focusing on these points, actually restores circulation to your heart, circulation to your lungs, so that you get better cardiovascular endurance as well as greater respiratory endurance. So, in other words, your blood circulates a lot better, and you'll be breathing a lot more easily without too much interference. So, what shiatsu is basically, to recap, sort of a pressure technique used in massage. And we're just going to try to relax this area out so that Deshar's breathing is a little more relaxed, and that his blood is pumping a lot better due to the relaxation of the functioning of the heart. Now, do you sort of feel like your whole entire chest area, just from focusing on this one square area,
Spreading out, making the rest of my chest feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's just not the muscles in this area that actually get relaxed. It's actually his entire upper body, his entire. He probably can't feel this, but then it actually restores circulation to the internal muscles. And externally, do you actually feel how this can, really affect the whole entire upper body area?
Yeah, I can feel it just going out and feeling a whole lot better throughout my chest.
Right. Now that we've achieved maximum balance to this shiatsu technique, balancing out the energy of life between the yin and the yang, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, I'm just going to tickle you straight up and see what kind of Now, how does that compare to, you know how I slowly tickled you last time?
Right.
I slowly tickled you after getting massaged, and I didn't go all out, right away. How does this feel now after doing the shiatsu technique and then straight up tickling you?
It's like a big shock to my body. It's just making all my nerves on my body make me feel really tickled.
Right. And would you say that the tickling was more pleasant than before?
Yeah.
Or is it way more unpleasant than before?
It's way more pleasant than when my muscles are tight and I'm being tickled.
But is it more ticklish?
Yeah, it's way more ticklish.
I mean, do you mean pleasant like it's not as ticklish, or pleasant it's a lot more ticklish but it feels better?
Yeah, it's way more ticklish. It just feels a whole lot better.
Alright. Now, I'm just going to experiment with your stomach area and see what kind of reaction I get with your stomach area. The stomach area is very commonly tensed up to prevent getting tickled. Because if somebody were to tickle my stomach area, I would just tense it up, just crunch my stomach, and then it would be a lot easier to endure. But then try to crunch your stomach as much as you can and see if I can see if my tickling has any effect on you.
Alright.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to relax this out a little bit.
Okay.
And I'm going to ask you, as hard as you can, try not to tense your muscles up when I tickle you.
Okay.
Just sort of let these relax and see what kind of effect a relaxed muscle has on the tickling sensation. Do you usually work out your abs, or?
Not really. It's more on my lower body, so.
On your lower body?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just gonna try to get this the abdominal muscle relaxed as possible. All right, now I'm gonna try tickling you using a light kneading motion, but with sort of a heavier pressure than frequency.
Okay.
I'm gonna see what kind of reaction we get. Try not to tense up this muscle right now.
Okay.
Was it more ticklish than before? Like when you tensed up, does it feel more ticklish, or?
When you tense up, it feels more ticklish.
So when you're relaxed, the stomach muscle is not as ticklish?
Yeah, right.
Alright. So the stomach muscle for Deshar is actually the only place where he's more ticklish when he's tense than when he's relaxed. It's not. I haven't seen that too much, but then not everybody's the same, So what I'm gonna do now is work around your kneecap area, and like you told me, you actually work out your lower body a lot more than your upper body, right?
Right.
Alright, so I'm gonna massage out your quadriceps and the area around your kneecaps. I'm gonna see what kind of response we get from you. Now note that today that this area has not been tickled before, but I'm sure Deshar can recall an experience when this area was tickled right above the kneecap.
I sure can.
So who knows your body the best, like as far as where you're ticklish? Would you say like you have a girlfriend or a parent?
Yeah, I say my girlfriend, for real. And some of the other homies' girlfriends too.
Some other homies' girlfriends tickle you?
Yep.
Why would they be doing that?
Because they like me.
They like you?
Yeah.
Better than their boyfriend?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Alright, now that this area is getting relaxed, I'm just going to slowly apply pressure, but I'm not going to knead it all, but just slowly apply pressure with my fingers. And just going to stroke it out using the cat stroke motion, but sort of with an inward foot motion.
You know something? I'm sorry to cut this short, but if you guys could do me a favor and give me a closing dialogue, you can say right there, Deshar, as you speak, give me a closing dialogue on how each of you perceived the experience and what you observed in Deshar, what you observed in the experience in the massage, tickling, how the massage and tickling comes together, so on and so forth.
Alright, do you want to start off talking about the whole experience, like
Yeah.
how the massage relates to getting tickled?
It was pretty much the same, but the difference was being tickled while your muscles are relaxed. I felt like it was a whole lot easier. It was a little bit more bearable. It felt a little bit more better when you're getting tickled, as far as you being strapped down and your muscles aren't as relaxed. They're more tight, and with restraints they're more being tightened and more protective from being tickled. But it seemed like it was more easier, more bearable to stand it, and it felt a little bit more better. But the experience was real good. It was a whole lot different than what I'm used to, than when I'm getting massage after a rough practice. It felt real good. It was more relaxing, and it was different. I liked it.
Yeah, and what I've noticed is not just you, but everybody that I've tested this on so far have actually been able to tell me that, after getting relaxed, after being massaged, that the tickling sensation is actually enhanced. The tickling sensation is enhanced, but at the same time, the